The house on Pleasant Avenue shone with the airless perfection of a surgeon's office. Neat, pale hallway, pictures arranged with a ruler's certainty. From outside, Dr. Anthony Pignataro's world was untouched, unmarred, just as he'd wanted. But in the precise order of his facade, hairline fractures had begun to crawl. Anthony was known for his hands, steady, deft, the kind that inspired trust in wealthy suburbanites desperate for new faces, new bodies. He craved admiration, clippings of his magazine features stacked inside his office safe. But when whispers began in the hospitals, when a patient stopped breathing under his knife, those headlines turned sour. Lawsuits, fines. The fall was quicker than any scalpel slip. His wife, Nancy, had always been quiet. Beautiful, soft-voiced, she folded herself in the edges of his life, running accounts, raising their daughter, making excuses for the bruises others didn't see. Friends noticed the changes. Nancy's laughter stopped. The phone calls became whispered, tense, filled with apologies she couldn't quite explain. She complained of headaches, stomach pains. Once, she told her sister she'd dreamt Anthony suffocating her, gloved hands pressed to her mouth as she tried to scream. One night in October, Nancy staggered from their bathroom at 3 a.m., clutching her stomach, skin glistening with sweat. Her vision blurred. The taste in her mouth was metallic, alien. Anthony, dressed in monogrammed pajamas, phoned for help with icy calm. At the hospital, Nancy faded into unconsciousness. The doctors puzzled. The symptoms, the organ distress. Blood work returned, arsenic traces. Someone had dosed her food or drink. The stains lingered. Nancy survived, but something changed in her. She smiled less, watched the world as if through glass. No charges were filed. Anthony stayed by her bedside, reading medical journals aloud at night. 2 years passed. The house felt colder, Anthony more desperate. The bills piled up. Nancy never spoke of illness again. Then, a morning, Nancy found lifeless in the den, a mug of coffee at her feet, eyes glassy and wide. The initial verdict, natural causes, a silent heart attack. But Nancy's sister remembered the poisoning. She demanded further tests. The reports slithered back from the lab, hair, blood, organ tissue, screaming of lethal clinical doses of poison. Detectives arrived, soft-footed and polite. They found Anthony in his study, surrounded by anatomical charts. He answered questions, too smoothly. The life insurance policy for Nancy's death gleamed on the coffee table, awaiting his signature. The financial motive was crafted with surgical precision. The trial dragged, full of medical jargon, projections of control and calculated malice. Anthony insisted on his innocence, but transcripts of his angry rants, the quiet documentation of every tablet, every ounce of powder purchased, told a colder story. He wielded his medical knowledge as weapon, not cure. The jury's verdict rang with the chill of the morgue. Guilty, 25 years to life. In his cell, Anthony Pignataro stares at the pale cinder blocks. The hands that once mended flesh now carve lines of regret into the table. Every clinical decision, every step, planned, designed, but no plan can hold forever. Because every crime has a design, and every design eventually breaks.